Hey, my friends, this week's episode of Better Is Now, the podcast, is about springing into the best version of ourselves. Yes, taking advantage of this beautiful energy of spring and manifesting the life that we have seen for ourselves. So let's get to it.
This is A.D. Roberts. Welcome to Better Is Now, the podcast. I believe we live in a world filled with limitless possibilities. And in this world, we are all looking to feel, do, and to be better. From that limitlessness, gentle nudges arise to remind us of our own possibilities. Today's nudge is about to begin right now.
All right, it is springtime, and this is like one of my favorite times of year because we get a chance to see this rhythm of life take place. Like the biggest, transition between it being freezing outside to the sun being beautiful and warm, from it being cold and, the trees looking a little bare to actually seeing leaves and flowers and all of those things beginning to sprig up on the trees and bushes outside. I actually saw the other day, a pair of geese and the little gosling just kind of waddling along. So I was like, yeah, it's spring for real now, because you get a chance to see the little ducklings and all of that little cool stuff in your neighborhood. So there's this beautiful thing about spring, and I think we all love it. The energy is fresh, it's new. Again, we see the flowers, we see all kinds of things springing up out of what appeared to be dead. Now that we're in the full swing of winter, the key for us, I believe, is to tap into that fresh energy. And tapping into that fresh energy will allow us to catch a momentum in our lives. This momentum that we can actually ride and allow us to catapult ourselves and our manifestations to brand new heights. Because if you look around and you really acknowledge what's happening in your life and just happening around you, period, energy is everything. Energy is the defining factor. And with so much life blooming and blossoming around us, why can't we take advantage of that same energy? And it's a reminder that our lives can and should be blossoming too. And it can blossom. Your life can blossom, it can bloom, and there's nothing that is stopping that from happening. And we can use this season to kind of remind us of where we've been and where we're going and what we can actually manifest in our lives. So I really want to just kind of jump right in and talk about the best way to do this. And what I know is, because everything is energy, I believe spring cleaning is real. When our parents used to, they'd say, oh, okay, it's time to clean up your room, clean out, throw out that all that old stuff, or clothes that you can't wear anymore, that you can't fit, things that, you just aren't using. So one of the things I really want to encourage you is to be mindful of what's in your space that you don't use anymore. What is old and what is clutter? What are some things that just go kind of neglected and you haven't even touched? Clothes you haven't worn in, months or even years. Not even the stuff that, okay, I get it. You have your winter stuff, you have your stuff for the summer or the spring. No, not that. I'm talking specifically about those items in our world that really just represent an old season. You don't look at it, you don't use it, and those things actually hold energy. And that energy can be stale and stagnant. And that stale, stagnant energy can block the new flow of energy into your life because it's taking up the space. So in order to usher in this new, exciting, vibrant energy, we still have to be cognizant of the fact that we have old stuff in our space and it has to leave. Old seasons, old relationships, old things that no longer serve us. And this is the barometer. What do you have in your space? What relationships? What is anything that you have in your life that no longer serves you? It no longer serves the season that you're heading for, or even the season that you're in right now in this very moment. You know, everything in life has an ebb and a flow. Everything has an up and a down. There's this beautiful rhythm to life where winter turns to spring, spring turns to summer, and summer turns to fall, and then back to winter again. And, you know, this ebb and flow represents a death and a renewal, a falling off and a rising up. And it's just like we take breaths every day, and throughout the, you know, from every minute to minute, we take breaths. So like right now, the breath that I'm taking, it just served me. But here's something that I learned a long time ago. Take a deep breath with me. Hold it. Hold it. And just hold it for as long as you can. But here's the thing. At some point in time, that breath becomes uncomfortable, holding that breath. And so you have to exhale. You see, for one moment, that inhalation, that breath was vital to you. But if you hold on to that breath and don't allow for the exhale to take place, it does not make room for what? The next breath to come in. Many of us, we are experiencing a stale, stagnant place in our lives where we're just feeling stuck. And many of us are experiencing that because we are still holding on to the last breath. Removing things out of your space that no longer serve you, like that last breath that we were holding on to, it no longer served us. So we had to let it go to allow room for the new breath to come in. Your life can be, and most oftentimes, is screaming for the new breath. There's nothing like the freshness of new relationships, new connections, new businesses, new cars, new houses, new things coming into your space. So, but in order to make room for that new thing, the new house, the new car, the new relationship, the new life, the new whatever, that new energy, that new freshness, in order for that to come in, you have to let go of the old. And that's what this season should remind us of. Can you imagine if winter decided that it did not want to yield itself to the spring? That winter wanted to hold on and lock you into this perpetual state of winter. That wouldn't feel good. It wouldn't be natural. And that is the same thing that is going on with so many of us, is that we're holding on to seasons that have been gone for a long time, that no longer serve us, whether they're old jobs, whether they're old businesses that just haven't panned out the way. It's okay. It's okay to let things go and to begin again. You have to open yourself up to the possibility. I understand that sometimes that which is old can be comfortable, but within our comfort zone is not our greatest life. Our greatest life, the greatest version of ourselves, lies outside of our comfort zones many times. And it is that discomfort that pushes us to the new thing. So as we are mindful or reminded of the beautiful possibilities of our lives, because when we walk outside, we see the spring. It reminds us that yes, our life can shift too. So what do? Spring clean. Spring clean mentally. Spring clean emotionally. Spring clean physically. You know, there's so many areas of our lives that need a spring cleaning. Mentally, you always hear me talking about incorporating meditation. Give something new. Start reading a book. Start a new class. Do something that invigorates your mind, that has you moving forward towards something fresh and new. So stimulate your mind. The next thing, emotionally. Place yourself in situations that will call you to feel good, to call something out of you emotionally that does feel good, something that makes you happy. Now, I know that, you know, the mantra is that you should be able to, that true happiness does come from within. I get that. But sometimes our lives and our mental state and our emotional states can be so trapped and confined by our own volition that we sometimes need a little help. We need to step outside of that space. And that's one of the powers of hypnosis that I have used with my clients for a really long time, because hypnosis, it allows us to recalibrate the brain and ourselves emotionally, because sometimes we've been in such a stuck season for so long that we forget what it feels to feel good. We forget what it feels like to feel good or to be happy, to be joyful. So sometimes you may need a little help to get there, to remind yourself physically and emotionally what that feels like to be happy. And then on the physical tip, get out and exercise. Get out and take a walk. Go somewhere where you haven't been in a long time. Go to the beach. If there's a beach by you, go find some water. Go find a lake, a pond, a river, somewhere where there is a flow. And that's the beautiful thing about water. Water represents, in so many different ways, it represents peace and stillness. And it also reminds us of upheaval and change and destruction. But in order for us many times to have the best version of ourselves, we have to go through a season of breakdown and destruction. And I know those words don't sound good and they don't feel good, but it is the rhythm of life. It is the ebb and the flow. And so get out, go walk, be out in nature, allow nature to minister to you and to remind you that the best version of your life is available to you. You know, so many lessons you'll learn by just observing nature. Flowers bloom just like you can bloom. Flowers push up from the darkness, from the seed that was planted in the soil. Sometimes many of us are planted in the soil. Our lives feel like we're cut off from the world and we're deep down in the dark soil, in that darkness and alone. But if you just put yourself in the right posture and trust the process, I promise you, in due time and due season, as long as you hold on to the possibilities of the thing, the happiness, the joy, the hope that things can and will get better, there's something out there that will act on that beautiful seed that is you and cause you to shift and to change and to grow and to sprout and catch a few rays of sunshine. And once you catch a few rays of sunshine, that's it. You know, we begin to blossom and bloom and, you know, be able to manifest new versions of ourselves. And that is the beautiful thing about this season. So remember, out with the old creates a space for the new to come into your life. Go spring clean. Go and spring clean in every area of your life, in your home, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Get out and move and do something, because there is something new and fresh wanting to come into your life. I promise you. You just have to put yourself in the posture of it, believe in the possibilities of it, and it will manifest itself. That new, the fresh will do. All you have to do is to let go. Let go of that old breath, and the new breath will bring in new life into you that will serve you in this moment. So in this season of your life, believe it and it will happen. I am sending good, positive vibes to you. Listen, this is my passion. This is my purpose. This is exactly what I love to do. which is empower people. So do me a favor, share this video to with someone. They need to hear this. They need to hear this message. They need to be reminded that they're not stuck permanently, that they can come out of whatever season they're in, no matter how difficult or tough it appears to be. Also, like, comment, and share this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. The goal is to empower as many people as I possibly can, and hopefully you'll feel the same way about your friends and family and people that you're connected with. Share it on your wall, share it with your friend, email them the link, but share it nonetheless. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
This is A.D. Roberts, and you have been listening to Better Is Now, the podcast. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for awesome programs and inspiring publications. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or our very own Anchor. See you next time.